why do you think it is important for SMEs to create digital adoption strategies at this moment in time and, of course, beyond?
Mike, I must say that the digital presence is going to be vital going forward for SMEs, because almost any business opportunity that we have out there, there is a customer. And we have seen, through our internal research, but also seen it directly from the customers, that our customers are now digitally led. Our customers now need access quicker, they need speed. And I think all our SMEs now, they are really, really forced to start thinking about what is it that they're going to do to support those customers, one, during the lockdown period, and secondly, post-lockdown. Because as a client now, I've got the experience of how quick it is to get to our SMEs. I don't have to call anybody. I just send out an SMS. I just go into WhatsApp. I go into different internet sites and be able to pick products that I'm looking for at that moment. The speed of the response from the businesses now going forward is much, much quicker through digital platforms. And as an organization as Absa, we're investing a lot around getting our SMEs to take up the initiative, but more importantly, for the SMEs to ask themselves a question: what is it that I can do now digital for my customers? How do I place my products on my website? What story and narrative do I tell that somebody who reads my website, somebody who sees my product, feels like he's actually touching this product and he wants to buy it? So the packaging of all of those items becomes extremely, extremely important. We are moving into an era where everything that any SME or any business for that matter will be done digital. How you advertise, how you show up, how you deliver, how you package, all those things, and the messages that you connect with your customers is extremely important. I'm quite amazed as a bank how much we have got digitally about how our customers are feeling about us. There's really not much research or any consultants that needs to tell me as an Absa to say, I am not happy with the service, or that branch is down, or that ATM is up, and we can immediately go in there and do that. Same applies to our SMEs. If you got a product, you put it up there, there's millions and millions of people that can easily say, I want that product, I need to get into it. So it's going to be vital going forward for all our SMEs to now start thinking digital. I know we've built things that we are so, emotionally attached to it. Now it is the ability of us of letting go of all of those things that we used to do and the way we did them, and think about the new way on how we're going to do things going forward. So really, Mark, digital is the way to go for all SMEs. It used to be a big thing for big corporates, but it is now the big thing for SMEs, probably lesser for corporates, because people's memories of corporates is like a legacy, is historical. In the SME world, things change quite quickly, and digital is the conduit for us to be able to connect with our customers. Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, just to add to that, Oscar, we get a lot of this coming through, and I think possibly it's a lot easier for an SME to change the way they do business and to adopt new strategies and to innovate possibly than a large corporate, I would say. And the feedback we're getting right now is that some of the biggest companies in the world are being created right now that will be in the future because of the way they're thinking innovatively, strategically, and adopting kind of new ways of doing things. And what you said there, absolutely true. But tell me something, Oscar, how can an SME go about creating a digital adoption strategy right now to not only get through this crisis, but also to prepare for the beyond? Because, look, we don't know when the beyond is here. I heard this morning there's another pandemic looming possibly, and it puts a little bit of scare into our way of doing things. But how does an SME go about creating a digital adoption strategy now during these times?
It's a great question, Mark, and it's a question that even a big corporates like ourselves, we are reviewing our operating model and the environment that we're operating, and say what I had last year and I had 3 months ago post-COVID, how necessary is it now going forward. So for any SMEs that's out there, the challenge you're going to have is, first of all, to decide and also acknowledge that what works for one SME, it doesn't mean it necessarily works for the other. And what I used to do means that it might not be the thing that I need to do going forward. So there's a lot of work that SMEs needs to do, taking their current strategies or their strategies pre-COVID and say, what is it that I need to do with this operating model or this business model, and make it fit for purpose for post-COVID, during COVID, and going forward, based on how our customers are behaving, based on how our customers are giving us feedback, based on where our customers are going. We need to create strategies that follow that. So it's quite easy, because it's not always technology or investing in technology or building up new technologies. It is the new ways of thinking. It is the new ways of approach. Is trying to answer digital the question that our customers are asking us to do as SMEs, and say, how do I respond on that? For example, if you think about, how do you collect your revenues as SMEs? It's quite interesting, seeing a lot of SMEs. Every time you talk about SMEs, which by the way, they might be correct, is everyone wants to be paid cash. I don't understand that. As an example, you need to be able, when somebody pays you by cash, they have to go to the bank, deposit the cash. The bank charges you fees. In some cases, you have to wait for a few days for the funds to reflect in your account, whilst you can use a speed point in your premises and say, Oscar, pay me now. Swap here. I'm able to go. Or Oscar, here's my invoice through WhatsApp. Please pay me. Here are my banking details. No one has to say, I need to drive complete forms and you sign and check forms. And we have all the capabilities as financial institutions to validate whether the account is valid or not. So there's small things that most of our SMEs can do around how they work. Look at how you collect money from your customers, how you pay your suppliers, how you secure your raw materials, how you talk to your customers, how you engage your customers. That's all digital. And if you start doing those small things, Mike, and to our SMEs, you start becoming digital-led businesses, and your operating model and your business model changes fundamentally. And you might need to make a small investment, but everyone has got this fear of the unknown, that you need millions and millions to be digital, you need millions and millions to be technological savvy, and it's actually not. It's the way you think, is the way you apply your responses to your customers that actually make you easy to be accessed by your customers. And is really, this is a critical thing for any SMEs to do. Review your operating model, review your business model, understand how you used to engage with the customers. Ask yourself, do they still want you to engage the same way? And you can only find out by sending them small questions through your WhatsApp and say, are you happy with the way we're engaging? Do you want to talk to me every week? Are you happy for me to send you a mail? Are you happy for me to send you a WhatsApp? How often do you want me to call you? And the small things like that, that is actual true digitalization on how we do business going forward. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Oscar. And I think to add to that, now's the time when a small business can compete with big business. And, over the past few years, or in the past 12 years at the NSBC, we've seen this. And here's an opportunity for SMEs out there to professionalize their online presence. Have a domain, abctrading.co.za, professionalize your website, have an email signature, have a Facebook header, have a Twitter header. These are the kind of things for a few $100 we are able now digitally to build our online presence. And I talk to, like you guys, talk to a lot of the big players out there. And why an SME doesn't get feedback from big business is because the perception they're creating out there is unprofessional. And for a few days and for a few $100, you can really lead the way and change the way you do business by thinking differently, acting differently, and really bringing out that total world-class professional image. So now you can start doing business with fellow businesses, SMEs, and with big business to do that. So what we are doing at the NSBC is urging our SME base. If you're running your business with a Gmail account or a non-professional business account, now's the time to change. You know, Oscar, we've got SMEs out there who are employing 40 or 50 people who are running their business with a Gmail account, a very poor website, no social media presence. And you know, for us, there's in all our surveys right now, how to get ahead professionally with your online presence is going to be the big plus of competing in a new world out there. And now's the time to do that. So to add further to that, but, you know, besides what you've said, Oscar, you know, a lot of SMEs think that it's obvious the benefits of going digital, but we know that it goes beyond the obvious. In your opinion, Oscar, what are the key benefits about going digital?
So there's a lot of benefits, Mark, that are meaningful, impactful, and you can see them immediately and you can pull them together. Some of the things that that you can do is location is no longer important. You know, you don't have to have a big building, put up massive structure, pay massive rent, and so forth. You can easily place the same experience and feel of putting up your products, your services in your website, and you package them in a manner that is far much better than having to be located elsewhere else. Secondly, is that the minute you go digital, you destroy any boundary of how far customers must reach you. Any customer can reach you. This is the one leg that I think, you know, we've been very mute as South Africans, and we have never been able to actually take our services across the continent, across the region, as Africa, as South Africa, in the African region. And one of the things that I always amazed is as soon as an SME crosses the border, it's game on. And you have a massive client base that is now open, or massive markets across the continent that you can access, and you're now opening your doors globally. But if you think about a business that says, I am at best in Matatiele, or I'm best in Zanini, or I'm best in Northwest, therefore I can't supply you with this particular service. You don't have to think about that. Now you've got other people that you can partner with, that you can be able to say, well, listen here, I've got one of my colleagues or one of my business partners closer to you, you will deliver to you in so much time. So really there's huge benefits that you can do. And during this time, we have seen how effective it is to do things digital. You've managed your expenses much better. No one spent anything during COVID, unless you have failed to negotiate and also indicate to people how this business has impacted you. So you can manage your overhead expenses much better. You can give access to your products to a wider market, meaning you are not limited by geography or limited by location. But more importantly is, you know, you creating your market, and you bringing your market into your customers and closer to them, so that they can then be able to engage with you and engage with your products. So really, customer service will improve through digital. Everything else should work. Your expenses are well managed. And now you're starting to think about, how do we expand your businesses? How do you grow your customer base? You are now occupied by that. Not necessarily about, you know, I need to paint this area, I need to tile this environment. So physical location has got its own challenges. You incur unnecessary fixed cost that takes away the opportunity to expand your businesses. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Oscar. 100%. And, you know, look, we know that some industry sectors have really had a great deal more pain than others, you know, hospitality, tourism, some of the retail sector out there. And then, of course, but you know what's amazing, what's coming through, Oscar, is that the resilience and the positivity, even those small restaurants in busy areas that have been shut down for 3 months, these business owners are mercurial and they are resilient, and they are using our innovation to change the way they think. Because we've got two choices, haven't we, Oscar? To curl up in a corner and die, or be positive, adapt, think differently, and come out of this stronger. Because in essence, we have no choice. Yes, we don't know how long this is going to last for, But now's the time where innovation is at the top of the pile. And within innovation is, of course, digital. And now we can really choose to get ahead of the game in any way, no matter what business we're in, because we just do not have a choice. But just Oscar, let me swing this back to you if you don't mind me.
Yeah.
How has the pandemic affected Absa?
Mike, it has affected us tremendously, and because we are a bank, we feel it immediately. It's the first time that I felt that Absa is actually an SME, because the impact of the pandemic hit us home quicker than we thought. We thought we were a big corporate. It doesn't impact us. It changes the way we engage with our customers. So we had to learn quite quickly during the first few weeks in March, towards end of March, building up to April, to say, if the client's premises are closed, how do we engage with them? No, we had to quickly get ourselves into spaces to say, going forward, how are we going to engage with our customers? So a lot of work has been placed in how we had to digitalize our platforms. I mean, we had a lot of SMEs that require information from us that we used to say, come to the branch. Now, all our branches were closed. Now, how do we then continue to service, even to those SMEs that were supplying essential services to essential workers during this pandemic, that they couldn't close? There were SMEs that could not stop supplying because they supply to health, they supply to financial institutions, they supply to allow us to be able to distribute the things that we think are essential. So a lot of work has been done from the bank. Most of our engagement with our customers is now digital. You don't have to come to the branch. You can reach us through WhatsApp. You can reach us through our virtual channels. We have also gone further, things like statements. You can actually get your statements digital, stamped. You don't have to walk into a branch. You can ask us to do certain things for you. You can be able to draw your statements, do your cash flow. You don't have to go into the branch. And all of those things have been done really to make sure that the life of an SME becomes much easier, and they spend their time not worried about how do we connect with the bank, how do we engage with the bank. Our online banking app, it is the best app that is currently, from an Apple ratings point of view, that is currently user-friendly, that our SMEs can use. And now business SMEs can use it. Initially, it was really designed for individuals. Now you can literally do a lot of things on your app, open accounts, engage with the bank. You don't have to have a human person that you need to meet with to actually do the things that you used to do. So a lot of things we are doing. We're also looking at how do we engage our customers going forward? How do we know this is the business that we must support? And I think SMEs are now even required by banks, because now I don't have the opportunity of meeting with ABC, who owns this particular entity. I'm going to have to go to the website of that business and say, understand what their business, what their core business is, what is the nature of their businesses, how do we need to support? And throughout this process, Mike, we've been there for our SMEs. Our payment relief programs have been very effective. We've partnered with government, we've partnered with other financial institutions, just to make sure that we serve this segment that is extremely critical in our businesses. And I think you said it, Mike, in our engagement, that for a lot of us have not taken note of this historical and something else that's going to continue happening. Whenever there's a pandemic, the first people that feel is the SME. And these are the first people that also responded quicker than anybody else. So as we open up the market, the people that are coming in quicker and making an impact immediately is our SMEs. It's not the big corporates. And therefore, it makes it important for any SME out there to realize that they've got a massive role to play, not only to make profits, not only to generate enough cash, but to really deal with the issue of unemployment in our country. Because as SMEs open up, the whole thing around job creation becomes an easy thing to deal with. And as Absa, we have realized that not only that the SMEs are important for us to survive as a bank, But for us to play a meaningful contribution and a meaningful role in our society, in our economy, in our continent, and globally, we have to support the SMEs for the bigger cause. Because any institution that is not investing in SME, I just wonder, which problem are you solving? Because if you really want to continue becoming meaningful, we have to get this segment to operate at the right level. But I want to say this, good SMEs will be supported by Absa. You define what a good SME is by your ability to deliver products that your customers want when they want them, and they can also give you feedback. So we are committed to this segment, Mike, and the SMEs out there, that we are here to support them digitally. And that's the pieces that I wanted to make, that anyone who goes digital has got an opportunity to survive the pandemic.
Thank you, Oscar. I think the big points coming across, and we've seen it, when we launched the COVID-19 Relief and Recovery Center, just when the outbreak came, Oscar, we've grown our base of over 34,000 SMEs in the last 2 months. And it's all about helping SMEs. And I'll tell you something, the feedback that we're getting from the financial institutions and from Absa clients is that your support has been incredible. Your payment holiday system is quick and easy, just off an app, yes, and you're in without complications. So we have to congratulate you guys for what you've done. And, this is what we've needed. This is a new world for everyone. But, and our big message to SME South Africa is really about taking that key phrases of digital transformation and, of course, remote working seriously. Yes, we might come back to some form of normalcy and get back to that office environment, but remote working won't leave any of us, probably forever. So to be able to effectively work remotely and digital transformation is not an expensive process. And if we can couple that with professionalizing our business and our image into the marketplace, is really what we need to take out of this pandemic. And that's our urge to SME South Africa, those key areas to really put some focus into. But Oscar, to come back to another important question that was coming through, what are some of the risks associated with going digital?
Mike, this is something else that is very close to our heart at Absa. Whilst we are encouraging all our SMEs to go digital and look at ways of doing business differently on different platforms. The scams and fraudsters are not sitting. They are working extremely hard, and in some cases ahead of everyone around that. We are encouraging all our SMEs to be very cautious in how they deal, validate. There is nothing wrong in testing the assumption. So things like phishing schemes, things like passwords, things like sharing too much information that is sensitive, you need to protect that. And we have said to all our SMEs, Absa will not send you any information that says confirm your banking details, change your passwords, and so forth. And there is this thing called gut feel. And I know it's not recorded anywhere else. It's not something that is widely spoken about. But I know for a fact when things are about to go wrong, you feel it. And I'm saying to SMEs, when something else it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable because it's not correct. So if people say you can get so much money, please press a button. And you've been struggling for 15 years and no one else has said press a button, all of a sudden you think you're going to be a millionaire or billionaire. It's just not right. So be very cautious. Listen to your gut feel, act on your gut feel. And secondly, make every effort to manage your sensitive information and make sure it's protected. Things like passwords. Don't generate easy passwords. Don't share information around your banking details, personal information of your businesses. Protect it. And most of our applications are very sound. Most of our online platforms are very sound from a security point of view. But things go wrong when you as an SME actually act against what you're being advised on. Take this, run with it. The list that you do about sharing sensitive information out there, and taking chances and thinking you're going to make quick money by pressing buttons everywhere, it's not going to happen. You're going to lose millions. So that's really the advice that I would give SMEs when it comes to these online platforms or going digital. The risk is high, but it is a risk that is manageable. Over to you, Mark.
Oscar, thank you for that. Yeah, just from your side, any parting words for the audience before we can take a few questions? And if I can look our audience out there, if you've got any short, quick questions that you'd like us to cover after we hear Oscar's parting words, you can prepare for that. But yeah, Oscar, over to you.
Mike, thank you so much. I mean, to our SMEs out there, to our SMEs that are really, really working hard, and I know you've got Africanity in your blood, and I know that a business that you run does not die because you've run out of money. It dies when yourself as an owner of that business stop thinking, stop having ideas, and I want to encourage you, never lose hope. This is the time that I want to encourage all our SMEs that you have demonstrated resilience throughout. You've demonstrated your ability to absorb the pressure. And I'm asking all of the SMEs, stick a little bit longer. We just need a second more on this journey. You're going to be over the line. And never stop believing in yourself, and continue finding new ways and reinvent yourself, reinvent your business, take advantage of what technology can do for you, and think about what you are doing for the bigger purpose of our country and our continent. And I salute all SMEs and I salute all entrepreneurs that it is just a dream until you act on it and then it becomes a reality. And all the best to all our SMEs out there. And Absa is there with you during this journey, and we will continue to support good SMEs that really want to continue making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. And just a question coming through is that, I'm a business owner of an SME, and when I wake up tomorrow morning, to unconfuse the situation, what are the key areas possibly that I should focus on first to really get ahead in transformation?
Look, first of all, I always say, what business are you in? And it's a question that everyone doesn't ask. And ask yourself, is what I'm doing still relevant? And as SMEs, we sometimes get stuck on the things that we are passionate and it's things that we are emotionally connected with, and we actually don't realize how outdated that is or how irrelevant that is. So it's important to say, who is my customer? Does he still need my product? Can I supply this product? What do I need to do differently going forward around providing the service to my SME? So really for me is continue connecting with what your core business is. And secondly is every business has to generate cash, and cash is not profit. Cash is the livelihood of any business. You have to keep cash running through. It's like oxygen to all of us to live. It doesn't mean that big people don't die. It is the blood. So you take blood, you take oxygen from people. Big or small, you die. And those that are able to patch it up, manage it, keep it flowing, keep it warm, even in trying times, they will succeed. And I think for me, that's really, really the key thing as I think about what you need to think about tomorrow. And lastly is, when you think about the people that do your business, do they see you as a cost or they see you as adding value to their business? Because everyone is looking at cutting cost. And I'm hoping that your business as an SME is not cost to those that you're supplying services. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. A question coming through, and possibly I can answer this in a small way. You can also add to it, Oscar, is that the question that comes through is that I don't have the funds to create my own website at the moment. And you know what, two things we can do here to assist. Firstly, there are many organizations in Africa providing world-class free websites. Social media, Facebook is cost-effective, it doesn't cost. But to assist you further, Sue, anyone else, please give us send us an email and we can put you in the right direction of who can assist you with all your platforms that are zero cost. And you can send an email to COVID-19 at NSBC.Africa, and the Relief and Recovery Center will assist you with any of your digital requirements in the best way we can to help you professionalize your business and, of course, to transform digitally, not only now, but to prepare for the beyond. But Oscar, from my side to you, you seasoned. I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful for Absa sponsoring, and not only sponsoring, but your incredible insight into this is highly appreciated. I know it's not the last time, and I do want to thank you, and all the feedback that's coming through, we'll send that to you. And sorry, Dingani, yes, it's COVID-19, one word, COVID-19 at NSBC.Africa. Please drop us an email and we can assist you with. And it's just something of interest before you go, Oscar. In our most recent surveys coming out, and this might be appealing to hear, is that the biggest learnings for SME South Africa over the past two months is this. First of all, 94% of small businesses globally work from month to month. That's just the way it is. The biggest learnings coming out now is three things. First of all, to stockpile more cash in the case of a crisis. Second of all, to reduce debt. And thirdly, to eliminate non-essential spending. And if one can take that, coupled with your digital insights, I think that we can come out of this much stronger than ever before. So from me to you, Oscar, I look forward to meeting up with you in due course. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. And I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.